Good evening, guys. Welcome to a session for how to design using Adobe Illustrator. Today, we are going to see the double disclosure effect. For starters, I like to say you that this effect can be recreated in many ways. This is one of the ways that I'm going to use today using masking. To find the resources, you can check out the link in the description below. I'll be attaching all the resources in a Google Drive, and I have attached the link in the description below. So please check if you want the resources for this video. And I hope that you guys have installed Adobe Illustrator already, and I am going to use Photoshop also for one or two effects. So please install Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. So let's get started. We are going to recreate the Ugly Bar poster, the poster that we had used for one of our YouTube videos. Please check out the videos. I'll be attaching the link to the video also in the description. To get started, I'll just tell you the dimensions of a YouTube thumbnail. As it was a YouTube thumbnail, the dimensions was 128 pixels in width and 720 pixels in height. So let's create a canvas first. Go to File, click on New in Adobe Illustrator. The Illustrator version is 2019 to be specific. Go to File, click on New, and then change the width to 1280 pixels and change the height to 720 pixels. You don't have to change any other settings, just click on the Create button to create the canvas. As you can see, the canvas is ready now. Let me show you the poster that we are going to recreate. This is the poster that we are going to recreate today. This effect of creating the portrait and its mirror image and the disclosure effect here is called the double disclosure. We can also call it mirroring in simple words. So I'll use Photoshop to cut out the poster from the background. So I'll go to the resources now and I'll take the portrait from here. The portrait is of Mohini De. We have taken all the rights from her. So I request you not to use the same portrait, as this is a personal image and can cause issues in further editing for you. So to cut out the portrait from the background, we are going to use this simple quick selection tool that you can see here. This is done in Photoshop 2020. I'm using this here because generally we use Illustrator only for vectors. And as this is not a vector image, it is difficult to get that amount of clarity to cut out the portrait from the background. So I'll use Photoshop here. It's easier and it's faster. You just have to select the quick selection tool and then click on the select subject. As soon as you do that, the software automatically identifies the portrait in the image and cuts the portrait out of it, separates the background from it. It will take some time. As you can see, there's a dotted line around the portrait. This means that the portrait is selected by the software automatically. In case if you find any parts that you think should not be selected, then you can click on the Alt button on your keyboard and just click the parts that should not be selected, and the parts are automatically deselected. And you think that some parts should be included in the selection, then just release the Alt button and click on the parts that should be selected. The software does everything else automatically. You can click on the layers to see the different layers available. Now to create an instance of this portrait, we'll click on Ctrl C to copy it and Ctrl V to paste it on it. Now, in order to delete the background and just have the portrait, just go to the layers here and click on the lock button that was available here. That will allow us to access the background layer also. By default, it is locked by the software. So now we can access it. When you click it, it's selected, and then you click press the delete button on your keyboard, the background disappears. Now you can see that the portrait is created without the background. So this is the first resource that we'll be using on our poster in Illustrator. We'll save this portrait. Quick export as PNG. Go to File, Quick export as PNG. Go to the desktop and save it as portrait without background. Without BG. That's all we'll be using Photoshop for, because the work's easier here. As you can see here now, the portrait without the background is here. Now we'll go back to our Illustrator again, to the canvas that we created, and we'll be clicking on the rectangle tool here in the toolbox and drawing a rectangle, because by default the canvas is of transparent color. So in order to create a good background, a solid background, you have to add a rectangle to the background. So the dimension of the rectangle will also be same as the canvas, because it has to cover the whole canvas. So it will be 1280 pixels in width and 720 pixels in height. To align it perfectly, we go to the properties here. The rectangle is already selected. We go to the properties, and for the x coordinates we give 0, so it aligns to the x coordinate on the canvas properly, and the y coordinate as 360. Now these are the general dimensions, because I have been using Illustrator again and again, so I remember that these are dimensions. But in case you don't remember this and it's different on your PC, on your software, then you can click on the selection tool and just move the rectangle to the corners so that it aligns perfectly. Now we'll lock this layer. Before locking this layer, locking a layer means that the layer cannot be accessed further unless you unlock it. So we have to lock this layer so that whatever components we place upon this are not affected when we are selecting something. So before locking, we are going to add this gradient effect in the background, the light blue here, and then it changes to white till here. So to add that effect, we'll go back to our canvas, and here you can see the gradient option in the right side of your window. You click on the gradient anywhere here, and you can see that there are two squares here. The second square is for stroke. Stroke is nothing but the boundary of the rectangle, and the first one is fill. Fill is nothing but the inside fill of the rectangle. So now you can see that the gradient has been applied to the stroke, but you have to apply it to the fill. So here is the reverse option, swap fill. The swap fill will then reverse the strokes fill to the actual rectangles fill. Once you click that, the rectangles is filled with the gradient. And now you can select the stroke again and click none right below it, so that we don't have any boundaries. In order to have the blue to white effect here, go back to the gradient, and then you can see two dots here. This is the white dot and the black dot. These are nothing but the two colors that have been used in the gradient. So just double click on the white dot, select the gradient, double click on the white dot, and then select the blue color. You can see this here. So you can see that we have created a gradient here. It's not similar exactly, so select the appropriate color. Okay, this seems fine, and click on the black dot and select the white button. So you can see that a similar gradient effect is created here. Now you can see the blue part is dominating the white part, but in this poster the blue part ends here and then the white part continues for the rest of the poster. So to do that, just select this dot in between. This shows the dominance of the color. As it is in between, the blue is more dominant because the white is less visible in the middle. You drag it towards the blue and you can see the dominance of blue color reduces as you drag it. To get the exact same color, I'll choose this. Okay, for now we'll work with the same color. Let's not confuse the audience more. And the next part is the triangles here. So you can easily recreate these triangles on your own, but I have used an image from Freepik. All credits given to Freepik. I have not created the background image on my own. I've used it from Freepik because it's a tedious process. I can teach you how to create this in the next video if you want. But for this instance, to not make this video too long, I'll just use a background that I have downloaded from Freepik. I have attached the resources. I'll remind you again. I have attached the resources in the description below, the link of Google Drive. You can see I have zoomed out and zoomed in. How am I able to do this is by clicking the Alt key and just scrolling the mouse button up and down. If you scroll it down, scroll it up, it zooms in, and if you scroll it down, it zooms out. And to traverse left and right on the canvas, just click on the press your spacebar button, keep it pressed, and then you can click and drag it left and right in any direction. Okay. So now you can see it's on the left here. So the basic thing what everyone knows is you have to rotate it. So go to the corner, press the shift button on your keyboard and rotate it so it rotates evenly in 45 degrees each rotation. So then you place it again, properly align it to the canvas, and then randomly pull it. We don't want this to be perfect because it's an abstract design, and abstract design look anyway good if they're stretched out. So now you can see that the thing background covers a whole canvas and a blue part behind is not visible. So what we are going to do is click on the photo that we have placed here, and then you can see the opacity here. Opacity is nothing but the transparency. We'll reduce the transparency, and here you got your effect. So you see the background with the abstract part and the color is created. That is what is available here. I'll just show the background here. Wait. See. So this is what we have recreated here. There are some textures and effects here. I'll make another video to teach those textures because it's some time consuming process. So I'll teach it in the next video if you guys request it in the comments below. So let's continue. Now what we are going to do is, as a background is ready now, we'll just freeze the background, or what I called it earlier is lock the background. So this is the layer options, as you can see here. Click on the layer options and then you can see the empty field here. If you click that, the layers are locked. Now wherever you click here, the layers are not selected. In this way, the background is not affected whatever we do above it. And to hide the background, as you saw previously, in order to show you only the background, I had clicked on these eye kind of icons here. This is nothing but the visibility of the components. So similarly, if you want to hide any component so that you don't get disturbed because of it, then you can hide those. Now we'll place the portrait that we cut out from the Photoshop. We'll just drag it and place it here. The portrait is now available here. Just resize it accordingly, however you want, and place it. So see, we are doing good, guys. We are doing good. We are almost there. Okay. So this is how we created a part of the poster. Now comes the tougher part. It's not actually tough. It looks tough, but it's really easy. We'll go down to the final part of the poster, that is the disclosure effect or the transparency masking. What I'm going to do is, first I have to create a mirror image of this. So how will I do that? I'll click on this. As you can see, when I click on this, there's a huge boundary here. So while exporting, this might cause an issue. So I'll just click on the crop button and remove the unwanted transparent part around this. So that while exporting it, I can export it as PNG and not as screens. I'll tell you what those two options are in this video further. I'll resize it. I'll remove the unwanted transparent part. And here you can see now the frame of the photo is reduced. Now I'll create the mirror image of this. I'll click on it, right click, go to transform. First I'll create a copy, similar copy. So click on it, hold the Alt button on your keyboard and pull it. So here's the same copy of the image. The other way you can do is Ctrl C and Ctrl V, the simpler way. But as I have used it more as Alt and drag, so I do it that way. Now click on the copied image and go to right click, go to transform, click on reflect. as the word says, reflect means mirroring. Click on reflect, and then vertical reflect 90 degree. You don't have to change anything. If you want to see the preview, click on the preview, and you can see it's automatically reflected. Click on OK, and this is done. So for now, we'll keep this aside, and we are going to assemble the background in this, the images, the collage of VIT's images. For that, I have provided the resources again in a folder called VIT. There are many images. What you have to do is drag it, drop it, resize it. Again, drag it, drop it. Randomly, it's on your choice how you have to drag it, what you have to do here. So similarly, place it randomly, and once you are done with the whole thing, it will look something like this. So as you can see, I've resized the image randomly so that the collage doesn't look much prettier. But once we place the portrait, make sure that the portrait covers the whole collage, or the collage is greater than the size of the portrait. The portrait should not be greater than the collage, so that because most of the parts on the portrait might not be covered if the collage is smaller than the portrait. So you'll get an image like this. Okay, there are individual images you can select here. So what I want you to do is select the whole image, just click somewhere, drag it completely over the image. Now you can see that even the Mohini's image is selected. So click on the shift button and deselect it. The shift button is used to select multiple objects. So just select, deselect. You can see here. Click on these images, select it, right click and group them. So now we can term this whole image as a group, as a whole collage. Now what I'm going to do is I'll reduce the opacity of this a little so that the transparency here you see can be obtained. The opacity I've set it to 87, and now I'll just click on the reflected image and I'll cut it, Control X. Now comes the masking part. Click on the collage part and go to the masking option here. If you click on any of these options, you can traverse to the masking here. Here you can see the transparency option is available and the make mask button is available here. So this is one of the ways to access the masking, and the other ways is to click on the image and directly the tools bar above you will show the mask button here. So this is the easier way. I'll click on mask and the collage disappears. Now what you have to do is just paste the image that we had cut before, okay, on the mask. Wait, let me do this again. So here's the mask. I'll click on the mask button or the make mask button, and now you can see the black screen here. Okay, so click on the black screen and then Control V. Clicking on the black screen is very necessary, guys. As you can see, the previous instance when I did not click on the black screen, and that didn't let me have this effect, as you can see here. Now you can invert this mask in order to make it darker and allow the aspects, the the proper specifications of image in of the components in Mohini's image. Say the hand, the boundary of the hand, everything is visible now when you invert the mask. If you don't invert the mask, the focus is on the background and not on the portrait. So as you can see here, the eyes, the hands, all are visible here. So we are going to just invert the mask so that the portrait is given much preference. And now you just place it properly based on your needs. Okay. And then don't forget to click again on the white screen here in the mask window. This is the transparency window, and click on the white screen here. So it's done here. Now just place it You can see we have recreated this here. And now when you zoom it in, you see that the actual portrait is overlapped by the disclosure effect what we have done here. So what we are going to do is move the disclosure layer below the portrait. So go on the layers option again, and here you can see the disclosure layer is here. This is the disclosure layer, and then we click it, we drag it below the actual portrait layer, and we click on this and adjust accordingly so that it doesn't cross the canvas here. Okay, so the disclosure effect is done, guys. All we have to do now is place the text and the logo. So let's place the text first. Go to the text options, the T here in the toolbox, and then click on the canvas anywhere. Before that, as you can see, this is till here the poster is done with perfection. So I'll just lock the layers here so that they are not disturbed. As you say in coding also, if it runs, don't touch it. Similarly, if it looks good, then don't touch it. So just lock the layers, and now you can go back and add the text here. Double click, select it, and add AGLI, Aglibar. In order to change the font now, click on the selection tool. The text is selected. Go to properties, and under the character, you can see MyRead Pro is a font family that is currently implemented. And there are many font families you can import. You just have to download some from Google Fonts, and then they are automatically visible here. Select the font family that you want to apply. And let me check the one I had applied here. I'll go to the layers. Here's the font. I'll go to the properties. The name is Mistral. The font family that I've used in the image is Mistral. I'll go to properties again, and I'll just type Mistral. I'll select it. You can see the font is now similar. I'll change the color. I'll go to properties, I'll go to fill, and I'll change the color of the font here. In order to see the font's RGB values, you can just click on the font and then go to the properties, the fill, and select the RGB values here. Let me find it for you guys. Okay, we have the hexa value. It's 01 and 7777. You can find it in the color palette here. So I'll apply the same hexa values here, color palette, and 01 and 4 7s. So the font color is done. Whoa. Let's go to the ending part. Just align the font. I'll add another text, that is the author's name, the poet's name. It's Mohini. And I'll add the gray color here so that it looks good, because black color is too catchy to the eyes. Gray color looks sober, simple. I'll reduce the size a little bit so that Aglibar has the main focus, and I'll place it in the corner here. Is it too small? Yeah, it's too small. I'll increase the size a little bit. Okay, so we are done with this. To add the copyright thing, just again the same font. Now, as you see, this font doesn't look for the look good for the copyrights. We'll use a simple sober font for this. This one looks good. I have to learn the spellings. It's reserved, RESERVED. And now you can see the copyrights symbol is not available on the keyboard. Every one of us know that. So I'll just double click. I'll go to the beginning. I'll go to type, and then I'll add insert special characters, symbols, copyright symbol. So it's done. reduce the size because this doesn't have to look so big, and then finally we just drag and drop the logo here, reduce the size, it's done guys. You can see the same image is created. The size is a little bit big, so you can increase the size accordingly. In the previous poster it was big, and the alignment can be done as per your requirements. So now I'll just export this. Go to file, don't forget to save it. First save it, Control S, desktop, AGLI, ugly bar. So the default format is AI format, that is Adobe Illustrator format. Save it. You don't have to see any of the settings here, just click on OK and the file is saved. Saving Illustrator file. And it's done. Now in order to, that's the Illustrator file, we cannot find the PNG file right now. So we'll go to the file, export for screens. Now whenever you see that, let me unlock all the layers. Whenever you select everything, you can see that some of the frames exceed from the canvas board. So when you export this as PNG now, this part will also be included, but it will be transparent. In order to not make this visible, you just go to file, export and export for screens. When nothing is exceeding the limits of the canvas, you can go to PNG and select OK button. That's fine. Here you can add a prefix because the suffix that will be added is artboard with the file name. So add the prefix. I'll just add AB, ugly bar, export the artboard, and it's done. The 72 PPI folder is created by the software, and here you can see the ugly bar poster is ready. It will take some time to load. Okay guys, so as you can see, the final poster is ready here, the similar one that we had posted for ugly bar. Thank you for watching the video guys, and please do share this video with your friends so that it is helpful for them. We'll be creating similar videos for beginners to learn. We'll be teaching the artworks what we ourselves have created, the posters what we have displayed on our social media handles, so that people can learn from it, because application is the best way of learning. I request you to visit our social media sites. The links are displayed in the description below. We are available on Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and also Discord. So join our groups, and please follow us on Instagram also. It will be a great help. It will be a boost for us to do the similar kind of work in the future too. And please click on the subscribe button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icons for regular updates from VIT Trends. Thank you for watching guys. See you in the next video.